This is Hoophall South, presented by Walmart from Bentonville, Arkansas. And this is day number 3, and our first game of the day features the Whitney Young Dolphins and the Little Rock Christian Warriors. Derek Ruskin here along with Jimmy Smith. We're glad to have you with us. It's a big day of basketball, Jimmy, and boy, it's no place you'd rather be, honestly, on a cold Saturday in Northwest Arkansas.
That's right. It's a marathon. It's the marathon day. It's fun to think that we're two-thirds through day-wise. We're on day 3 of 3, but we're just over half of the total games played. We'll play 13. We've played 7. We got 6 more today. So you got nothing better to do. There's high school basketball from across the country, all being played right here, right now, in Bentonville, Arkansas.
So Whitney Young's team we've seen a couple times. What's your impression of the Dolphins?
Scrappy, aggressive, defense, transition, all the things that you want from a basketball team. The little things. You know, they'll shoot a 3, they'll dunk, but I think they rely a lot on transition and defense. They were all over the place in both the games that we saw, and Little Rock Christian has their work cut out for them there in that regard. The only thing that may help them is that the Dolphins have been in this gym twice already and are probably on the tired side, playing 3 games in 3 days.
Yeah, the Whitney Young, during warm-ups a moment ago, one of the Whitney Young coaches was yelling at the team, wake up, wake up. So they want to be alert and ready to go here as we get ready to start this thing for a noon tip-off here on this Saturday afternoon. So the lineups are in. Whitney Young, the talented Dalen Davis, leads them with Daniel Johnson, Antonio Munoz, Demaje Chadwick, and Marcus Pigram. For the Warriors from Little Rock Christian, J.J. Andrews, Jameel Wesley, Landron Blocker, T.J. Watson, and Ben Fox, the starting 5. The Warriors are in white. The Dolphins are in orange. And this ballgame's underway, and Whitney Young controls the tap.
We'll see if noon is a storyline here as well. This is the earliest game of the tournament.
Corner look for Daniel Johnson. That's off the iron. And the Warriors come down with it. Andrews got it to Wesley for the rebound.
You know, the gym's not going to provide anything to you. There's not going to be an environment. You're going to have to kind of create everything on your own. We'll see how that plays out.
Here's Blocker on a drive off glass for 2. Nice start for Little Rock Christian.
Attacking Munoz, attacking the paint. You know, Daniel Johnson got in a little foul trouble early yesterday, kind of took him out of the game, but he had a huge first game for the Dolphins. He has the ball now.
Yeah, Johnson goes to the elbow. Now it's Munoz, guarded by Blocker. The pass down the baseline was a little out of the reach of Davis, and it goes out of bounds.
But where Johnson kind of faltered in game 2, Dalen Davis didn't. 18 in the first half of his second game. And so he provided the spark offensively.
Wesley will try a triple. That's no good. Rebound, stick back for Andrews. First 4 of the game going to Little Rock Christian. They work it to the middle of the floor. Chadwick to the foul line. He lost the dribble. Diving after the loose ball. In the corner, Wesley tries to keep it alive, but the Dolphins get it right back. And there's a jumper in the lane for Marcus Pigram.
So there's, I guess we'll call it defense. It ends up being a steal, but it's just that tenacity and scrappiness that gets them there at the basket.
3-pointer for Blocker. Off the iron. Munoz clears the boards. 2 minutes gone here in the opening quarter. Game number 1 of the day here at Hoophall South in Bentonville, Arkansas. That's a long 2, and it missed badly for Davis that time. Here is the Warriors the other way. Andrews takes a jumper, and he misses. And a loose ball fought for, and Fox comes away with it. Another try from outside. That's way off. Another rebound and a stick back, though. Second chance points early here for Little Rock Christian.
I feel a timeout coming possibly soon here for Whitney Young. They do not look like they're communicating well.
Down to baseline. There's a foul and one. Marcus Pigram gets to the rack, and he'll have a chance for 3.
Well, that will solve some problems. A lot of a coaching moment here for the Dolphins.
Blocker picks up the foul, and there's the three-point play for Pigram. So he's got all 5 right now for Whitney Young. Here's Andrews. Blocker to the foul line and backs it out. Fox working on Munoz. Andrews down the baseline. What a move and a stuff.
Wow.
Explodes to the rim.
A really, really good start for Little Rock Christian. If you're the Warriors, you got to be happy with the way this is going. The Dolphins have scored, yes, but not as efficiently as they have.
There's a three-pointer for Daniel Johnson.
Or not.
So this game is tied at 8. Wesley backs it out. Fox will launch from outside. That's good. So Ben Fox, the first three-point hit for Little Rock Christian. They're back in front. Chadwick to the corner. Munoz will get it in the hands of Davis. He's been the big presence for Whitney Young in these first couple of ball games. Foul line jumper Johnson off the back iron, rebounded by Watson. They push it. Wesley thought about the 3. Now he'll attack and misses. And it's cleared by Johnson. Now the Dolphins push. Pigram working on Fox. He scores.
Marcus Pigram.
So that's 7 in the first 4+ minutes for Marcus Pigram.
Maybe this is the Pigram game. We had the Johnson game, the Davis game.
Andrews showing off the ball handling. Back out Watson, three-pointer, good. And there is the timeout you thought about for Whitney Young as the Dolphins trying to shake off some of the rust here with this noon start. It's a quick timeout, and Little Rock Christian, give them credit. They showed up alert and ready to play here in the early going, Jimmy.
Yeah, obviously less travel, but you're still playing at noon. You know, it's still, you got to get up for this game. It's your only game of the tournament. And so this is getting the rust off early if you're the Warriors. And for Whitney Young, just lack of communication. There was an open baseline jumper for the Warriors a couple possessions ago. It didn't go in, but it just didn't look good. There was communication. Who is this? Whose guy is this? And it ended up turning into an open look. And Little Rock Christian's looking a little more smooth on offense. And as I mentioned, the Dolphins are scoring. With the exception of the Daniel Johnson straight on 3, it's been a lot of work to get those 10 points.
So Coach Slaughter using that timeout to try and get his team into the action here. As we near 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. This is Chadwick. Now it's Johnson. Pigram, who's had the range early. Down the baseline to the corner, and it's Johnson missing a triple. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by Whitney Young.
Surprised not a kick there.
Davis will take one from the elbow, and that's pure. First bucket for Davis, and it's a 2-point game. Blocker, cross court. Fox backs it out, and there's number 0 in white, Corliss Williamson Jr. on the floor for the first time. The three-pointer doesn't go from Blocker from the corner. Here comes Whitney Young with Johnson fading, leaves it short, and it's rebounded by Blocker. Blocker Creates a little space, finds Andrews down the lane. Nice hesitation, and he puts it home.
Good patience. Got the man in the air. Dolphins are biting on a lot of head fakes here, and looks like Little Rock Christian aware.
That's 6 now for J.J. Andrews. Johnson misses from downtown, rebounded by Watson. Andrews in the corner. And now Williamson. Andrews thought about it. Back to the corner. Now they'll regroup. 15 on the timer. 1:17 to go here in the first. Fox will hoist. No good. Rebounded by Davis. Johnson at the foul line, cut off. They skip it over to Davis. Davis working on Watson. Final minute of the quarter. Munoz, and an offensive foul on the drive against Whitney Young.
Good work by the Warriors. Dolphins do like to pass while in the air. And doing the hard work there to get run over.
First foul on Demaje Chadwick for Whitney Young. So here's Little Rock Christian up by 4 in the late stages of quarter number 1. Wesley pulls up, front iron, rebound, Warriors, and they'll regroup things. Andrews now fires. That's off the iron, rebounded by Johnson. Shot clock off, but the Dolphins push anyway. Now Pigram will settle things down with 20 to go in the quarter.
Good job to get out of trouble there. Dribbling through traffic to reset. Now can he keep the dribble? There we go.
11 to go in the quarter. Munoz with a baseline jumper, and he cans it. First bucket for Munoz. Final seconds. Here's a look. Watson to beat the buzzer. No good. And that'll do it for quarter number 1. Good quarter of action there with Little Rock Christian in front of Whitney Young, 16-14 after 8 minutes. And you're watching Hoophall South, presented by Walmart. Back here at Hoophall South, presented by Walmart. Derek Ruskin, Jimmy Smith on the call here for our first game of the day. Little Rock Christian, bit of surprise to some as they've got a 2-point lead on the Whitney Young Dolphins from the Chicago area. And Little Rock Christian's going to have the ball here as we start the second quarter.
A couple times not boxing out for the Dolphins, just not characteristic so far of what they've been doing.
Here's Blocker. Back out. It's Fox. Got 15 on the timer. Blocker again cut off. Fox from straight on. Barely grazed the iron with the triple. And Brown gets that rebound for Whitney Young. Davis draws a crowd defensively. Munoz was open for a second, but didn't take the shot. Now here's Chadwick on a drive, and he puts it down. So that's a bucket for him, and now we've got a whistle And the shot clock did not reset after that made basket.
Had that a couple times. A lot of moving parts there with 2 clocks.
So they've got it at 33.
Sure. We haven't really gotten that deep into the clock so far in this game. Why not?
There's a collision in the lane, and Blocker and Brown get tangled up, and it looks like the foul's on Brown. It's his first.
Team second.
So we're tied at 16. Baseline out of bounds here for the Warriors. Blocker just inside the arc, missed it all. Out of bounds, last touched by Pigram. It's going to stay here with the Warriors. Now they don't get a new shot clock here because that didn't hit the rim, so it's at 24.
Pigram trying to knock that off of Cooper Longworth, who's in for the first time here, the senior. Did not go as planned, so stays with the Warriors.
Into Blocker. He has it stripped. And the Dolphins with a 3-on-1 on the break. And that's Daniel Johnson for 2. Well, the last 6 have been scored by Whitney Young. And they have taken the lead. Williamson from outside. That's off the rim, rebounded by Brown. Good moves inside. The shot a little long from Johnson. Battle for the board. Johnson tracks it down in the corner. Floater, good. Dalen Davis. It's an 8-0 run for Whitney Young.
For as uncharacteristic as Whitney Young started this game, they're leading.
Wesley short with a triple. That ball, it did end up hitting the baseline. It was awful close there with Pigram, so it's going to be Warrior basketball. So they'll inbound, and Ben Fox will throw it in. Starting 5 on the floor once again for Little Rock Christian. Blocker trying to facilitate here, down low, Andrews, and he is stripped by Brown. Taken away by Sean Brown. Dolphins in transition. Davis. Now they settle into the half court. 5.5 to go here until halftime. Chadwick on a drive. Drops it off, taken away by Watson. Nice play there by the Warrior defense. And Brown nearly had another takeaway, and he may still. Ball is loose, and the Dolphins come out of there with it with a 2-on-0 break. And that's missed at the rim by Johnson. They still fight for it. Great defensive recovery there, Jimmy, by Blocker to get back.
Yeah, trying to be a little too cute there with a one-handed putback, but Brown, the defensive spark plug, a different Dolphins than we saw to start. They're defending, and it may sound like we're being a little critical, or I'll speak for myself, of the Dolphins, but we're talking about the team we've seen the most versus the team we've seen the least. And so we saw 2 really intense defensive games from Whitney Young, and we're just not seeing the communication and scrappiness until right about now.
Here is Andrews trying to make something happen, and there's a travel. Blocker went up to punch it down, but he took steps first.
That would have been one right there. That was a poster and a half, but in order to get to that point, he shuffled the puppies, as they say.
Whitney Young leads by 4. Johnson off the back of the iron. Brown with the rebound, and he gets fouled on the way up.
Good work down in the post, using his body. Doesn't have incredible height, but plays big. Good tap to himself, gets fouled in the process, and 2 free ones for the work.
Here is first free throw, and he rattles it in. So Brown's got his first point. Didn't see who they posted that foul on. On Blocker. So that's his second. They didn't post it up on the board here in the arena. But in the book, it says Landon Blocker's got 2 fouls, and that's all that matters, really. Brown makes 2 free throws. So that's a 10-0 run now for Whitney Young. And they are up by 6.
Now, it looks like the message at the quarter break is resounding with these Dolphins. And now Little Rock Christian looks all out of sorts.
Yeah, they need a basket. They haven't hit any baskets here in this second quarter. And they'll get a foul there on Dalen Davis for Whitney Young. That's his first. Andrews working on Brown. And a collision there, and we've got a foul. It's going to be against the Dolphins.
Help defense there as Munoz. They're not going to give that to Munoz. They're going to give that to Brown.
Yep.
Well, that's tough because now he has 2 and comes out immediately.
Yep.
But defensively was locking down really anybody that was his guard.
Yeah, I was about to say their defensive spark plug just picked up his second, so we'll see if we see him again in this second quarter. This would be an opportunity for the Warriors to maybe take advantage.
Well, we'll see if that presence of mind and tenacity rubs off on his teammates here. See if they get the picture that that's how they're going to need to win this game.
Here's Andrews. Nice move by Andrews. It doesn't drop for him. He gets his own rebound and puts it down.
That was tough.
So J.J. Andrews leading the way for Little Rock Christian. He's got 8. We've got a 4-point game again. Trying to work it inside. Good denial there by Watson. Davis drops it down again. Pigram, no. They fight for it. It rolls out to the corner, and it rolled past the sideline out of bounds, and the Warriors will have it.
Getting physical. Come all the way down here to play, you leave it on the floor, whether it's your third or your first.
Little Rock Christian trying to creep closer here. They're down 4. Here's Longworth, back to Fox as they work the perimeter. Andrews from outside, and that doesn't go, and the rebound is secured by Davis. Pigram drops it down. Johnson, yes.
Right hand from the left block. Just kind of turns and up with the one hand. Good positioning from him to earn that one.
He's got 7. And on the drive, Andrews gets grabbed. And that's the second on Davis.
That's a 6'5" freshman who is trying to take over this game. Maybe forced a 3 the last possession there, fighting through some defense, getting a foul call.
Baseline out of bounds. And
got another one.
Yep, a foul before the ball's inbounded on Whitney Young. And that one's going to be on Daniel Johnson, his first. Here's Wesley. Pulling up, backing it out. Fox will fire. That's good from 3.
Needed it. Got it.
That's his second hit from outside, and the Whitney Young lead is 3. Chadwick gives it to Munoz as we near 2 minutes to go until halftime. Entry pass stolen away. It was deflected, and Watson squeezes it for Little Rock Christian. Fox will fire again. Yes, sir. Back-to-back triples for Ben Fox have tied this game at 24.
That's disheartening. For as tough as you've played, you get back-to-back, a 6-point swing from one guy, and the full timeout very much needed.
We'll take it as well with 1:53 to go. You're watching Hoophall South presented by Walmart. Well, it was a big run by Whitney Young, and now an 8-2 run by Little Rock Christian to even this thing up, Jimmy, at 24 here in the latter stages of the first half.
Well, if you're the Dolphins, you want to stop the run there. Don't know if it had to do with Sean Brown being out. I'm not exactly sure who his guard would have been, but back-to-back threes has us right back where we started.
Pigram looking inside. They've got Cole Pruitt on the floor for the first time for Whitney Young. And here's a deep three, and that goes. Cole Pruitt hits on cue. So Whitney Young back in front. Drive to the basket. Wesley can't connect. Loose ball, and it comes out of there, and it's numbers for Whitney Young. Chadwick to the bucket for 2.
So far, a really great timeout from the Dolphins. A lot of energy coming out of it.
5-point game with 1:03 to go until halftime. Wesley down the lane. Can't hit again from point blank. Rebounded by Johnson. Turning inside, and Pigram can't hit it. Rebounded by Longworth. And Andrews keeps it alive here, about a 4.5-second difference between the clocks for Little Rock Christian. They are going to go to halftime very much in the thick of things. Shot clock to 10. Wesley, 6 on the timer. He bobbles it, he turns, he fires, hit the front rim. Rebound underneath, and we've got a whistle here. Now the shot clock ran out, but that clearly hit the rim. And now they're going to talk it over. We may have a held ball.
Yeah, at least the jump ball will save the refs here because that, and the shot clock operator as well.
Yeah, that is a held ball, and Whitney Young will have it with 4.3 to go.
Jump ball possession here on Whitney Young.
So they'll try and go the length of the floor to add to their lead before the break. It's Chadwick. Now it's Pruitt, and that's no good, and that gets us to halftime. Whitney Young leading Little Rock Christian 29-24 at the break. We will step out for halftime and come back with more in a little bit here at Hoophall South, presented by Walmart.
Welcome to the 2022 Hoophall South Team Announcement Special, presented by Walmart. Let's get right to it and meet the teams that will be showcasing their talents from December 15th through the 17th in Bentonville, Arkansas. The team probably everyone's excited about, Arizona Compass Prep, is absolutely stacked with talent. They feature 5 ESPN 100 players, including senior Mookie Cook, who's headed to Oregon next year, Rayvon Griffith, who's committed to Cincinnati, and Trent Pierce, who will head to Missouri next season. Nearly the entire roster is D1 caliber players, and you won't want to miss the intense, high-flying style that the Dragons play. The hometown Bentonville Tigers will look to defend their home court. 6'8" junior Caden Miller is one of the in-state studs that will be on display. Miller is ESPN's 39th best player in the Southeast region and has drawn a lot of mid-major and Power 5 interest. No one could have or would have predicted Bentonville West High School becoming a nationally respected program after opening in just 2016. Coach Greg White credits a dirt road tough mentality and players who rise to every challenge placed on their schedule. Last season, West High went toe-to-toe with nationally respected Coronado, who's also in the field here, despite not even having a single D1 player on their roster. 2 teams from out west will head to Bentonville for Hoophall South. Coronado from Henderson, Nevada brings the state's 4th best player in junior guard Josiah Cunningham. ESPN has Cunningham as the 46th best player in the West region, and his recruiting process just getting started after a great summer. Will Hoophall South be a coming out party for Josiah? The Bulldogs of Fayetteville High School head to Bentonville with hopes of representing the natural state when they take on Whitney Young from Chicago in their lone game at the end of the first night of action. After going 20-7, the Bulldogs' season ended when fellow Hoophall South team and host Bentonville knocked them off in the Arkansas 6A semifinals. The other West Coast team in Bentonville is Harvard Westlake from Los Angeles. The Wolverines are known for producing next-level athletes such as Major League Baseball pitchers Jack Flaherty, Max Fried, and Lucas Giolito, and NBA rookie Johnny Juzang. This year, senior Brady Dunlap is in the spotlight before he heads to play in South Bend for Mike Bray and Notre Dame next season. The number one ranked player in the West joins juniors Robert Hinton and Trent Perry to make Harvard Westlake a must-see team at Hoophall South this year. Five-star junior guard Honor Boateng and the Tigers of Little Rock Central take the short in-state trip to Bentonville. ESPN's 44th ranked junior has rising interest from many SEC schools and recently rose 41 spots to number 13 nationally in the Rivals class of 2024 rankings. Honor's big year continued when he attended the USA Basketball Men's Junior National Team minicamp in October. Little Rock Christian Academy heads up the mountain to Bentonville to compete against Whitney Young High School out of Chicago. The Warriors are led by junior Landon Blocker and freshman J.J. Andrews, two 6'5" guards who have multiple SEC offers. Moravian Prep heads over from North Carolina and brings four-star forward Mayar Wool to Hoophall South. The South Sudanese senior stud committed to the College of Charleston this past year after being ranked 54th in the Southeast region by ESPN. Joining Wool is sophomore guard Eli Ellis, Rivals' 35th best player in the class of 2025. Ellis has 8 college offers, including West Virginia, Virginia Tech, and Ole Miss. Simeon Career Academy out of Chicago heads down south for Hoophall. Senior forward and Loyola Chicago commit Miles Rubin and his brother and front court running mate Wesley will give the Wolverines a post presence. Simeon Academy has been a professional basketball breeding ground as Derrick Rose, Nick Anderson, Taylon Horton-Tucker, Zach Norvell Jr., Jabari Parker, and Kendrick Nunn all help make Simeon a powerhouse. The Windy City will actually send 2 teams south as the Whitney Young Dolphins head to Bentonville. Princeton commit point guard Dalen Davis and senior shooting guard Daniel Johnson are standouts for Michelle Obama's alma mater. This year will also feature 3 girls teams as Perry High School from Arizona and hometown squads Bentonville High and Bentonville West will lace them up. Bentonville High features guard Ella Campbell, who is ranked 27th in the senior class on Prep Girls Hoops, and guard Abbey Kate Sanders, who's ranked 59th. Bentonville West seniors New Johnson will be another player to watch, as will Perry's forward Camille Pierre, who is ESPN's 87th best player in the 2023 class, and she has committed to Vanderbilt. And finally, here's a look at the full schedule for Thursday through Saturday. And a quick recap of the top players to watch December 15th through the 17th in Bentonville, Arkansas. Three days, 14 teams, 12 games. Expect a whole lot of action at Bentonville High School in mid-December. Tickets are on sale now for each day, so make sure you grab your seats to see some of basketball's future stars. Thanks for watching, and see you in Arkansas.
We're back here for the second half of this matchup at Hoophall South, presented by Walmart. Whitney Young out of the Chicago area in Illinois, Little Rock Christian, and it's 29-24, Dolphins leading at the break. Jimmy Smith alongside, I'm Derek Ruskin. 9 points for Ben Fox for Little Rock Christian, 8 for J.J. Andrews. And on the other side, Daniel Johnson was 7, Marcus Pigram was 7 for a Whitney Young team that eventually kind of got into the flow of things, Jimmy, but it took about a quarter and a half.
Yeah, I think it was Sean Brown that kind of jolted them to life defensively. You know, they can score, but I think they're best when they wreak havoc and get some transition going with all the athletes they do have. And it was started out as the Pigram game, and he's kind of settled into the 7. I don't believe he scored in the second quarter. If he did, it was very early. But he set a tone offensively. But it was defensively that really made things tough for Little Rock Christian and gave them that 5-point lead.
The Warriors hanging around in this ball game as we start the second half, and they're going to have the basketball first.
Whole slate of basketball today, 5 more games after this one. A girls game next at 1:30, Bentonville and Bentonville West. A little rivalry game there. Simeon Career Academy, Moravian Prep back on the boys' side at 3. Bentonville West and Harvard Westlake at 4:30. 6 o'clock, Legacy and Compass Prep. You don't want to miss that one. And then to round us out, Bentonville and Coronado at 7:30.
Here's Ben Fox firing this one halfway down and out from outside. And the Dolphins will get their first look of the third quarter. Munoz looking inside. Pigram trying to get open. Now he's got the ball. Back out. Three-pointer Johnson. That's good.
Good skip pass.
Daniel Johnson.
Daniel Johnson, a senior, not committed yet, still fielding offers. Needed a big weekend, or end of the weekend, and has had some flashes.
There's a 3 at the other end for Watson.
TJ
Watson with his second hit from beyond the arc, and that ends an 8-0 stretch for Whitney Young going back to the end of the second quarter. Here's Davis floating. That's around and off and running with it is J.J. Andrews. Fox thought about pulling it from the angle. Now gets it to Wesley. Wesley probes in the arc, nothing there. And pulls it back out. Here's Blocker. Blocker spinning and scoring.
Way to initiate the contact, find Munoz's body, spin off of it, and hold the composure to finish.
It's a 3-point game with a minute and a half gone in the third. Davis gets a screen from Munoz. Now a 3-pointer from the left angle doesn't go for Johnson. And on the rebound, a foul against the Dolphins.
Yeah, Pigram there. He likes to try to jab step into a transition opportunity. He'll linger around defensively full court and make a play at the ball. That time a little bit too much of the player, though. And the foul, his first.
Warriors have a chance to tie this thing up again. Andrews drives in, and he's fouled by Johnson.
Putting all of his body on the line. Just a freshman again, as we talked about. Seems to be the guy here for Little Rock Christian. Now, we've seen some freshmen playing above their years, and here's another one.
These are the first free throws for Little Rock Christian. There's only been 3 on the other side for Whitney Young, so not a big disparity there. And there's the first one that goes in for Andrews. One out of 2, rebounded by Munoz. So Little Rock Christian, it's been a game of runs, and they have scored the last 6.
How quickly can you put the Band-Aid on and stop the run and turn it into one of your own?
Davis twisting in the corner, and it's knocked out of bounds by Blocker. It's going to stay here with Whitney Young.
That's a really good ball handler, and Blocker, with his long arms, giving him lots of trouble.
Pigram going to work. Missed the layup. Here's Little Rock Christian. It's Andrews. His jumper. Off target. Munoz gets the board. Great pass underneath, and that's 2 for Johnson. A great find from Pigram.
Daniel Johnson for 2.
Johnson now with 12, leads all scorers.
Dolphins lead is up to 4 again. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Little bobble there. Blocker able to secure possession again. Here's Wesley driving down the lane. He missed it, and it's rebounded by Munoz. Davis drops it off there for Pigram. He'll pull it back out. Davis thought about a triple. Drives down the lane, and he floats it home. So 6 for Dalen Davis, and Whitney Young has the beginnings of perhaps a little run here. Unless Blocker can do something about it, and he missed the floater.
It's like he lost it in midair, kind of regathered it, and by then the arc wasn't going to come from that shot.
Munoz, I don't think he wanted the ball there. He was trying to orchestrate where his teammates should go, and now Davis drives down the lane and gets fouled. And that's on Landron Blocker, and that's number, well, it says number 2.
Yeah, I think that's the one that they didn't have. Yeah. We did. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we'll go with 2 on him. Yeah, that earlier foul looked like they gave it to Cooper Longworth instead. So 2 on Blocker, and Davis at the free throw line, and he misses the first one. Little Rock Christian brings Corliss Williamson Jr. back in the game. His dad, one of the assistants for Little Rock Christian, and a hero to many in this state of Arkansas, Jimmy. National champion back in 1994, great NBA career. And he is a legend, there's no doubt about it. 37-30, Dolphins lead it. Blocker misses the shot, ball out of bounds, and the Dolphins will have it.
Well, it's nice to see the elder Williamson then giving back and obviously helping his son in the process, but continue to build the game.
Davis in and out. Brown got the offensive board. Back to the corner. Richardson misses a triple. And now here's Andrews headed the other way, and he gets fouled on the way to that basket.
Fouls on Sean Brown for the Dolphins, his 3rd.
That's a 3rd on Sean Brown.
Just came back in a little bit ago and now picks up 3. I think they're going to stick with him. 4th one, we'll see him probably sit.
Warriors down by 7. And nearly a takeaway there by Johnson with the active hands defensively. Blocker puts it up and misses. Tipped around, it goes out of bounds, and it'll be Whitney Young basketball. Dalen Davis bringing it up for Whitney Young. And he lost it on the way up, and nobody else touched it. It's out of bounds to Little Rock Christian. Some full court pressure here, but the Dolphins back out of it. Blocker. Andrews will try a 3. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. They push it with Brown. Nice move by Brown, and then a rejection, but it's cleaned up, and Johnson puts it in.
Good hustle to get back there and try to help, or rather offensive board.
Cooper Longworth with a 2. to end the drought for Little Rock Christian, and now we've got a timeout. This is a 7-point game again with 2:32 to play in this third quarter. It's a 30-second timeout, and again, we've seen the runs, and is this the beginning of the next Little Rock Christian run?
That's basketball. I mean, we've seen some games where it was just back and forth. It really wasn't a run. It was 1 or 2 baskets and then 1 or 2 baskets the other way. Little mini runs. This is true runs, 6, 8, 10 points at a time, and, you know, going half of quarters even worth of scoring. But it's all kind of kept the game close.
Right now, a 7-point spread. Here as we play our first game of 6 today on this floor. Jimmy gave you the schedule earlier, but we've got Bentonville West and Bentonville in girls action. That's a conference game, just like the boys game was last night, and they'll play as soon as we're finished here. That was tipped into the backcourt, no violation. And Pigram will get the Dolphins into their offense. Pigram gets a screen. Pigram down the lane, back out. Richardson, and he hands it to Johnson, and Johnson scores.
Great work cutting to the basket, becoming available for a pass. And Whitney Young likes those little drop-offs, and Johnson cut right at the right time, and ball was left.
Johnson's got 16. Here is Fox from outside, and he missed everything, and it goes out of bounds to Whitney Young.
Going back to that schedule, if you're looking for a particular game, all the games are uploaded or have their own URL. So if you're on our YouTube channel, which you obviously would be, if you're looking for a particular game, kind of go back to the channel, click on the live tab, and you'll see your game listed, and click, and then just wait us out. We'll meet you there.
Here's Richardson with a foul line jumper that doesn't go. Brown gets the offensive board. Richardson's down. He is down in the middle of the action there, and there's a jumper that's made by Dalen Davis. But now the concern is Richardson.
Yeah, it's tough. You keep the ball offensively. You want to play through it, but you got a guy that's right there and right to the knee, and he's slapping the court. You don't love this at all, and the team heads back to the bench, and the trainers are out.
So DeMaje Richardson in a lot of pain on the floor right now as they check him out with 1:22 remaining. This is, after that Davis bucket, it's the largest lead Whitney Young's had. They're up 11. But obviously they were hoping to get through the 3 games and not have anybody get hurt, and hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah, not a ton of weight on his right leg as he works his way off. We didn't want to show too much of him grimacing on the floor, but now that he's up, we'll show you that he is now on his own power 100%, making his way. So probably a scare. You know, anything as a basketball player down, you know, below the weight, it's scary because you know, you've heard, you've seen careers end that way, so you get very scared, and good to see he just continues to stretch it out. Not a cramp, maybe a little more than that, but he's working through it, and maybe possibly see him again in this one.
75 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Little Rock Christian trying to find something offensively. Blocker probes inside. Now here's Williamson. He's been held scoreless so far. There's a takeaway. Davis will miss the layup.
Great defensive play to cut off the one side and jump the other, and can't get the layup.
So blocker on the baseline is cut off. Fox with an extra pass. Watson and a three-pointer swatted away. Now blocker again. He hangs and misses. The putback goes for J.J. Andrews. He's into double figures with 11. At the other end, the three-pointer doesn't go for Johnson, and we've got a foul. Looks like it's on. No, it's on Cole Pruitt for Whitney Young.
Saw Daniel Johnson flying around, tipped a three-pointer that he was, 8 feet away from. And then on the other side, he checking out those legs and see how much spring he has and hoists the three. But he's flying all over the place for the Dolphins.
Final seconds here of the third quarter. Andrews. Wesley will try one from outside, and it doesn't go. Munoz gets the board. Time here for Whitney Young. Munoz steps through and had it knocked away with 2.4 on the clock.
Plenty of time here. Catch, maybe even a quick pass if that play is drawn up this way, but we're likely going to see a screen, catch and shoot.
And they get it in. Munoz fires, and a wedgie. That's how we'll end the quarter. So after 3, it's 43-34. Whitney Young with the lead, and we'll be right back here on Hoophall South, presented by Walmart. Back here to start the fourth. Whitney Young 43, Little Rock Christian 34. Derek Ruskin along with Jimmy Smith, and our other colleague here, Blair Cartwright, just gave me a note, Jimmy, that Corliss Williamson, one of 47 players who's won a national championship and an NBA championship in his career. Only 47 guys who've done that, and one of them is in the gym here today.
I don't know, that number feels low, but it is an incredible accomplishment. I mean, you probably think the same on the football side. A lot of times your college experience does not translate into a great pro career. His did.
Jumper doesn't go there for Pigram as we start the fourth. Here's Fox taking it the other way, and he'll slow it down and get it away to J.J. Andrews. Blocker from the foul line. That jumper's too long. Brown clears the boards.
You know, once he becomes just a regular guy instead of like a hero or, you know, obviously the NBA player that he was, you know, to these players, he has a lot to teach them, a lot to show them as they go through this process.
Three-pointer off by Johnson. And the Warriors settling in here, trying to get something going offensively. Andrews turning in the lane, and that's stuffed by Munoz out of bounds. Munoz thought that it may have clipped Andrews on the way out, but they're going to keep it with Little Rock Christian.
Good work there for Munoz to hang and stick with it as Andrews spun, pivoted his way even closer. Reached over and deflected it away.
And now Little Rock Christian wants a full timeout. So it's 7:09 to go here in the fourth. We'll take it as well with the Dolphins in front 43-34 here at Hoophall South, presented by Walmart. Young up 43-34 with 7:09 to go here in the fourth quarter. And it's Warrior ball. They've got 21 on the shot clock. Here's an open look. Wesley from outside. That doesn't go. Blocker immediately follows it, and he misses. And the rebound there brought down by Johnson.
Tough shot there to catch it in midair and turn it into a jumper. But a good look. He was open.
Pigram on the perimeter. Now Johnson back inside. Pigram to the other side of the lane. Brown. Now the cutter. Johnson can't hit. Rebound. Stick back Johnson. 18 for Daniel Johnson. Back to a double-digit lead. Good idea there with the reversal. Wesley misses, and now we've got a held ball, and the arrow belongs to Little Rock Christian.
Jump ball will stay with Little Rock Christian.
Fox. My apologies. Had some success with the three so far. Have the Warriors. Let's see if they go back to that. Feeling the 11-point deficit right now.
Yeah. This is Blocker. Watson lost the defender and hits the shot. TJ Watson's got 8. So it's back to a 9-point game. Davis guarded by Watson. Back out, three-pointer Johnson, front iron, and the rebound to Wesley. Blocker. Here's Andrews. Putting the moves on. Cut off on the low block, nowhere to go. Muscles it up there and draws a foul.
I can't believe he held that pivot foot for as long as he did, as violently as he was moving and with all the contact. Great work to earn the trip.
It's on Sean Brown with that foul. That's his 4th. And it'll be 2 for J.J. Andrews. He's led the way for Little Rock Christian with 11, now 12.
Somebody to watch as he goes through. Just a freshman, we've mentioned multiple times, so kicking off his high school basketball career and looks to be a focal point for the Warriors.
He looks like he's going to be a good one. 1 out of 2 there, and Johnson gets the rebound for the Dolphins. So it's an 8-point game. Richardson back on the floor. That's good to see after we saw him go down. Now it looks like he's in a little discomfort now after giving up that pass. Davis fades, back rim, rebound Fox. They never reset the shot clock. It's ticking down to 5, down to 3. Here's Fox with a three-pointer that doesn't go. They didn't and now
they had 2 chances to do it. I saw the shot go up and I go, okay, this might be okay, and then it didn't reset again.
You'd expect that in game 6 of the day, not game 1, but
it's game 7 of the tournament. We'll give them, I don't know. It's these blur together. You know, we're all going through it right now too.
Wesley drives in. Pretty move by Wesley. His first bucket of the game.
Way to shield with the body and then kind of turn it into a right-handed scoop once you create that space with the contact, and a little bit of a mini run.
Now they've cut it to 6 with 4.5 to go. Richardson looks inside. Blocking foul. The basket will not count. Foul before the shot as Pigram charged in there. And they're going to get, I think it wasn't Fox. No, it was Wesley who got the foul.
One of the many differences between the high school game and the NBA. In the NBA, that's an and one all day. Here, it's an inbound left of the basket.
Muscled up there by Pigram for 2. That's his first bucket of the second half.
Got his points after all. Got to stop trading with the Dolphins if you're the Warriors.
They work it around to Watson. Trey Howard on the floor for the first time for Little Rock Christian, number 22. Andrews nearly lost it off his hip. Turns, tried to fling it up there, and it goes out of bounds.
Ben Fox, Jamil.
I think he's feeling the pressure of needing to create. Kind of got the blinders on there, and he turned around immediately to his teammates, and it seemed to be like, where are you guys at? But I think he had one goal, and that was to try to score there.
Richardson brings it over the line. Now Johnson's got it. 3:42 to go in the fourth. Nearly a takeaway there by Blocker. And now we've got a timeout. 30-second timeout taken by the Dolphins with 3:34 to go, and their lead is at 8.
Now, if you're the Warriors, got to continue to move the ball around. You can't try to score a touchdown every single time you have it. You're going to have to inch back 2s and 3s. Extra passes late into the clock. You're going to feel rushed with 3:34 to go. But make sure you get the best look you can. And with the fouls the way they are, you're working towards and one opportunities here, as the Dolphins have 5 team fouls. So keep that in mind. As I feel like, I don't have it in front of me, but I feel like the Warriors have taken 3 or 4 to 1 as many free throws as Whitney Young.
So it's Whitney Young ball. They'll inbound near their bench. And Davis secures the pass to get us back underway. Now the shot clock's a factor here. It's at 6. At 5. Turning inside Pigram. 1 on the shot clock, and they didn't know it. It's a shot clock violation.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Slaughter is saying that was on me. I think he drew something up in the timeout and didn't take the shot clock into consideration there. So now got to get a stop if you're the Dolphins, and this might be one of the possessions where you need a score, and the shot clock once again.
It didn't start. The game clock did. So now they'll put it at 32.
Trying to see which of the gentlemen there at the scorer's table is running the shot clock, just based on everyone's reactions.
Yeah, who are they all looking at? We've got a delay a game warning whistled there. Now the Warriors get it in bounds. Clock's still not moving. Shot clock's not moving again. Game clock's moving.
There the shot clock goes.
Here's a 3 for Wesley, and he got it.
Yeah.
So Wesley has found something here of late. He's got 5, all here in the last couple of minutes. We got a 6-point game. Davis goes crashing in there, and he draws a foul.
Got some people down there enjoying their front row seat. Got a job to do.
That's on Ben Fox with that foul, his first. And Dalen Davis at the free throw line for 2, and he makes the first. So he's into double figures with 10.
And they put that point up for the wrong team. I just watched it go up. So
we're all on the struggle bus today.
There we go, fixed it.
Davis makes them both. So it's a 7-point lead for Whitney Young. Here's Wesley. Wesley drives and scores.
Wow. It had just the right amount of spin. Great touch, good finish. 5-pointer.
Yeah, 7 now for Jamil Wesley, and all in the fourth quarter. He's really coming on at a crucial time, trying to get his team even in this thing. They're
Got
down
to stay a
5.
2-possession game here if you're the Warriors.
2 minutes to go.
And mathematically, that means a stop right here.
Davis, and not sure who he was throwing it to. It goes out of bounds.
That police officer is not in the right uniform.
Well, now another opportunity for Little Rock Christian.
Big time stop. See what the offense looks like.
Yeah, they got the stop. Can they chip away at the deficit? Here's Wesley again. Not that time. Blocker tried to throw it down, and he draws a foul.
I don't know where the call comes from on Daniel Johnson here. We'll see. So we got some. Here's the free throws.
3rd foul on Johnson. And Blocker to the stripe.
He was trying to box Blocker out while he was in the air. Ah, tough miss.
Warriors make some changes to the lineup. They get Howard back in there. Longworth back in the game. And that's an empty trip at a bad time for Little Rock Christian.
Ouch. And I'm assuming this is the defensive unit out here. They've got to get a stop.
Wide open in the corner. Johnson misses the 3. Munoz with the rebound, the stick back, and 1.
Boy, I don't know. I'm not great at judging there, but it didn't look like it was going to go in until it was tipped.
All right, so it was a goaltend, more or less. So no foul. Either way, it's a 51-44 lead here for Whitney Young. 1:20 to go. Blocker spins and draws a foul.
Fresh off of missing 2 for the Dolphins, that's the guy you wanted to send to the line.
Well, Sean Brown just fouled out of this game. He'll exit with 2 points on a couple of free throws. So a stoppage here as Whitney Young uses the time allotted to put the sub in.
Yeah, turning the foul out into a timeout.
Now they're going to call a timeout.
They need extra time.
Timeout, Whitney Young, 51-44. The Dolphins lead it. We'll be right back here at Hoophall South, presented by Walmart. .116 to go. Whitney Young with a 51-44 lead, and there'll be some free throws here for Little Rock Christian out of the timeout. Landron Blocker toes the line for 2. And he'll get 1 more. 7 for Blocker.
Back within 2 possessions.
And he makes both.
And that one makes the 3 not necessary on the next possession, but you have to get a stop.
1:10 to go. Whitney Young trying to get out of town with a win. Their third game in 3 days here at Hoophall South. Final minute of the fourth. Davis nearly carried it. Back to Richardson. There's 9 on the shot clock. Richardson drives in, lost it, and it goes out of bounds to Little Rock Christian. Well, the Warriors have a pulse here with 45.5 left. A 2-possession game.
You don't need the 3, just best shot you can get sooner rather than later.
And any Whitney, I'll check it. Yeah, any Whitney Young foul would result in a 1-and-1. That was left short by Blocker, and Munoz able to keep it alive. And now they foul Davis with 29.6. It's only the 4th foul on the Warriors, so no bonus yet. We'll have to foul a few more times. And they do there. That's Watson. That's his first. So that's a 5th team foul. So 2 more will put the 1-and-1 up there. Pigram gets it in play to Davis. Davis is bumped by Howard. So there's foul number 6. Another couple seconds come off the clock. Pigram trying to get it in play. And just within the reach of Davis. He goes to the sideline. They've avoided the foul. Now Munoz gets grabbed. 18.1 showing, and that'll put it in the 1-and-1. J.J. Andrews just picked up his first.
Well, you got to think both here ends it. We've seen some things, but that would be quite a thing. A split is
still a 2-score game.
Yeah, but still a very tough uphill battle for the Warriors.
Yeah, they need a quick 3 if it's 1 out of 2. The first one's short. Well, they're down 5.
And then they get a foul.
Yeah. So they're going to put Andrews on the line. That'll be a 1-and-1.
Frustration there for Munoz after the miss. Well short after it, and then kind of got himself caught in no man's land and reaches, and he compounds the air on the free throw to give the Warriors a chance to score twice with the clock not moving.
And now Little Rock Christian's going to take a timeout to talk strategy, and so will we. With 16.4 to go, we've got a 5-point game here at Hoophall South presented by Walmart.